I'm just gonna be over here. Oh, we're live.
Good
Look at
good
that.
afternoon, good Friday afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us here at There's No Crying in Crochet. This is the podcast where we take your everyday crochet frustrations and we try to give you some answers. And sorry. I'm Biz from Busy Crochet, and this is my beautiful
And
cohort.
I'm just over here. I'm Debbie from MadameStitch.
We're all a little loopy today.
Oh
Um,
man.
Just getting business out of the way. If you are on YouTube, please make sure that you like both mine and Debbie's um, YouTube stations, Busy Crochet and Stitch Crochet, and make sure you follow both of us because we're um, putting new information out there, new tutorials out there on a regular basis. And I know that Debbie is really stepped up her game, so I've got a
Ooh.
matchers pretty soon. I got to catch up.
Oh.
And if you are streaming on Facebook, make sure that you give StreamYard the permission to see your name. That's all that we're asking for, is just so that we can identify you in the chat group, and make sure that you chat with us because we'd love to say hi. All right, Debbie, tell me what's up this week. You were just telling me about something funky that happened yesterday.
Oh my goodness. I know a lot of the country is suffering from tornadoes, and I grew up in Tornado Alley, just south of Kansas City. I'm familiar with the beast, but now I live on the eastern edge of Pennsylvania. We get bad thunderstorms, hurricanes, and nor'easters, but we don't get the kinds of storms that you see in the plains in the south. Well,
Uh-huh.
yesterday, every Thursday morning I go to the grocery store as the kids are going to school. Elementary school kids are going to school because nobody's at the grocery store. It's a great,
That's the best time.
silent, wonderful place. Now, I knew that a storm was on the way, but I had no idea what was going on with it. So I'm driving up to the store, which was about 10 minutes away, and it instantly turns from day to night. It's just
Oh my
black
gosh.
outside. All of the business lights are coming on, and so I'm hoping that I get to the grocery store before it happens. As luck would have it, I'm a couple blocks from the grocery store and the skies literally opened up.
Oh
So
my
I
gosh.
continue to the grocery store, pull into the parking lot, and now I'm weighing, do I run through the rain and get completely soaked and that struggle is happening. Well, that struggle didn't last long because the lights in the grocery store go out. So
Oh no.
okay, well, I'll just go home. And in the 2 minutes I was sitting in that parking lot, now I have a 10-minute drive to get home, right? I had to drive under I had just come through the intersection where power lines were drooping across the road. The next intersection, a pole had been broken in half and the lines were laying on top of the traffic light.
Wow.
Now the rain is coming down so hard and so fast that roads are flooding to the point of almost impassable.
Oh
And
wow.
I'm just about a mile from home, and I get to a place where there's a tree down across the road, and there's a bus underneath it.
Oh my
There
God.
there was a school bus underneath it, and I don't think it did anything to the school bus because I haven't heard any bad stories, but,
Uh-huh.
um, my neighborhood, there's just debris everywhere. The people who live across the street, there were branches over their car. It was nuts, and the storm lasted 15 or 20 minutes. It was just crazy. The kids were at school, my grandkids were at school, and the older one said that lightning hit their school and took out their speaker system,
Oh my gosh.
and that was just in 15 minutes. We got water in our laundry room because my husband didn't know what was going on. It was just the craziest storm, and now
Isn't it?
it's
And it
just as
happens
bright,
so fast.
and then it was gone. And then, for the rest of the day, the sun was shining, and it's like, okay, I did not move here for this kind of stuff. What is happening?
I thought
What is
I
that?
escaped. Oh my
So
gosh. Yeah, that
that
sounds
was
like an
my
afternoon
excitement.
Florida storm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. I mean, that absolutely sounds like something we would experience in the Midwest as well. But man, that caught us all off guard here. That's my
Well,
excitement for the week.
what's so creepy though is like the sudden flooding. Like what in the
Yeah.
world?
Well, the
That was
problem
fast.
was the rain was coming down so hard and so fast that
Mhm.
the storm drains simply couldn't handle it, so it just
Yeah.
backed up on all the and this is a very hilly area, so
Mm.
it's not like it's flat where everything just kinda can dissipate. It collects in all of these valleys,
Right. Right.
so it didn't take
Well,
long for it to drain, but
yeah. Well, I mean, that's only because it stopped.
exactly.
So
Fair point.
but boy, my week was not anywhere near that exciting. Gosh, I'm trying to think, what did I do this week? I finished my design that I've been working on, the one that's been like holding me up with the whole arm thing. Finally done. Oh my God, it's finally done. And I'm so
Sweet.
excited. And now I just have to do a lot of math and write it down. And all
Pull
of
out
that.
that spreadsheet.
Oh my God. So but thankfully Neve was willing to work with me, and she did a lot of math with me and helped me understand what I needed to know about making for larger sizes, because it's a swimsuit cover up that this is the first time I've ever made a piece of, I shouldn't say my first garment, but first time I've designed a garment that actually had to fit sizes. And so it'll be in
Mm,
3 sizes: small, medium, large, extra large, and 2XL, 3XL. So just keep your fingers crossed, because I'm thinking about making a 2X, 3X, so that my very pregnant daughter can model it for me. So we'll see if that'll work. But other than that, it was the weirdest thing. I felt like I can't do anything. My life has stopped until I get this swimsuit cover done.
yep.
And then when I got it done, I'm like, holy crap, I
What
have
do I
so much time.
I know, what do I do now? I've done
I,
that before. It's like,
I
what do I
don't know
do
what I'm
now?
gonna do.
Oh, trust me. Those of you who are watching, we have a moment. I mean, it's a blip on the radar, and we know
It
exactly
is.
what we're going to do next. So this is not
Oh no, because I actually
a
started
huge
on 2 of
problem.
them right away.
Exactly. That's
Oh,
right.
oh god. So anyway, that was my week, and it just wasn't that exciting. Alrighty, so this week we're going to be talking about, because it's Memorial Day here in the U.S. this
Mhm.
weekend, and which is a remembrance of those soldiers who have died in service, and we want to honor them on this weekend. But it's also kind of the unofficial start to summer in America. So we wanted to talk to our maker friends out in the maker world, and some of you are just creators. You just want to make things to use them for yourself. Some of you want to be business owners. Some of you are vendors, and you are makers in the marketplace. So that is what our topic is this week: is the unofficial start of summer for makers. Alrighty, and I didn't do any fun, funky banners this week. It is because we have this
That's okay.
presentation.
We
So, we've got pictures, people.
we do. We do.
Our
Did you
our
want to
book doesn't.
start with giving everybody just kind of an overview of what we're looking at today before we do our presentation?
Yes. So I'm gonna talk first about the makers in the marketplace, and I'm zeroing in on some ideas for you to put on your table. Those that want to sell, things that are quick sellers, things that are common sellers. Like they're good for you. We're also going to talk today about making sure that you are presenting your products in a way that draws people in. And then Miss Debbie is going to be talking about.
Well, I put in a section just because I go to a farmer's market every Saturday morning, and shop. So I and it's a really cool downtown market, right along the Delaware River. I live right on the Pennsylvania border, and all of these farms, New Jersey has all of these farms that bring
Mhm.
fresh produce. They bring all the jellies and jams and
Yeah.
beverages and homemade things, and it's a wonderful place to shop on a Saturday morning. And a lot of people bring their dogs, they bring their kids, they make an
Mhm.
event out of it, but
Mhm.
they do some of their shopping. So I put a
Yeah.
little segment in for those of us who don't necessarily sell at markets, but we go to markets, and some
Mhm.
things that we can make to take with us that are reusable, will help make our trip really fun.
A
And
little more fun, yes.
yes, so we have 2 segments, and I think you'll enjoy both.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and rev this thing up.
All
There
right.
it is. The unofficial start to summer crochet. Alright, so the first part is gonna be selling at markets. We're talking about, like, farmers markets, any kind of the pop-up markets that happen, um, and the things that we're gonna talk about in this section are the small things that you can make that are kind of the in-between items, because as a maker, as a vendor, you really kind of want to niche down. You want your I'm going to actually just bring it back out for just a minute. As a vendor, you want to have a voice. You want to be specific about what your voice is. Same with a designer, any of it. Because you're going to end up at a market most times. Now, sometimes they are very selective about who they let in, and there's only like a crochet designer. But most markets have 2 to 3 crochet designers or makers at a market. So you want to make sure that your stuff stands out. There, you want to make sure that yours is the table that everybody wants to stop at. And now I'm going to go back to this. So what I did is I went and I found some basic ideas. All of these that are pictured here are going to, I have links in the description later. So coffee, the iced coffee cozies, those go really, really fast. The ice cream cozies, those are also ones that are great for people, especially in the summertime. And then I have another coffee cozy over here that has a llama on it. And the reason why I did the 2 different ones is because if you can find interesting twists to the same thing. I know there are some who are like, I just want to get a bunch made. Well,
Mhm.
I don't want you to spend hours because you're losing money that way. Find something that has a character on it but is easy to make. And even if you make up your own characters, something that gives your cozy a little bit of a boost. Looks a little different than everybody else's. Maybe
Mhm.
you stick some little ears on it and you make a bear face. Maybe just something that makes it stand out. And I'm never going to be one that promotes using copyrighted characters, but there are a lot of patterns out there that have copyrighted characters in cozy form that you could find if you wanted to. Um, but just things like that, things people want, because you're not gonna be able to find it in a store. A lot of these,
Right.
very, very simple coffee cup cozies or whatever, you can find things like that in a store because so many of these, stores now are beginning to get crocheted items from overseas. So the simple things are easy to find. You wanna set yourself apart.
Now
Uh,
remember, not only adding characters and pieces to it, but the yarn you choose, the colors you choose. If
yes.
you know what the area supports, what do people love to
Mhm.
buy in your area? Do they love boho? Do they love
Mhm.
neutrals? What kind of, you need to take the temperature a little bit of
Yes.
the crowd that's going to be shopping that market, and you can wait. Good ways to tell are what are other people selling, and what are booths that people are crowded around, what are those
Yes.
booths selling. It
Yes.
doesn't necessarily mean that you have to make the same things that they're selling, because you
Right.
really kind of don't, because
No.
then you're competing with something that you can't control.
Mhm.
Instead, take the concepts, like what colors, what types of items, what
Yeah.
categories,
And if you have a
and
really sportsy town.
yeah, exactly. So that's a good way to kind of personalize those items for your ideal customer at that market. What are they going to do? You see them walking around with big bottles or
Right.
cups that they need to have covered, and would
Mhm.
they feel really special if they had their cup in one of your items?
Right, right. You wanna go for the bougie girls. when you're doing your coffee cups and stuff like that, because the bougie girls like to hold their coffee cups and, just like I call my daughter a bougie girl, so I'm just going to talk about her. I think that she would love to have something to put her iced coffee in because she otherwise gets her hands all wet and
Exactly.
things drip down your outfit.
Well, as the weather gets warmer, that becomes more of an issue.
Right.
Um, One of the other things that doesn't have anything to do with cozies, but, um, one of the ways that you can kind of set yourself apart is how you have your table or your booth set up.
Yes.
There are creative ways that you don't have to spend a lot of money to use crates. I'm gonna see if I can find, um, Cameron's. Yeah, so Cameron, I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm gonna see if I she does a lot of okay, here we go. If you can get us back to the main screen, I'm gonna put this up and see if you can see it. Cameron was someone I met a couple of months ago, and she's a market coach,
Okay, cool.
and but she has, see if I can find it. Nope, that's not it. Ah, here we go. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this,
Yep.
but she
Yep.
uses crates
Yep.
at varying heights to
Yep.
display her goods.
And a lot of
And
times you can
then
find that stuff at the really cheap stores.
oh, yeah. Yeah, you can find that at,
Like dirt cheap or Five Below or, something like that.
yep, exactly. So that's another creative way to, um, make yourself stand apart from the crowd.
Right. And then this in the upper left-hand corner of the Foursquare, there is a ball jar that's covered with like a lacy covering. So ball jar covers are really quaint and fun. You can make them chunky or you can make them super thin and lacy. And some of the things that we don't think about that we can actually use these for is beyond just drinking our iced
Mhm.
tea in it. You can use those for table decorations
Yep.
and take some of those cheap little battery operated little tiny twinkling lights, put
Oh,
those
I
in
love
there and
those.
use them for lighting on your table on a summer evening or something like that. And it just takes that basic something something and turns it into something more special. And the reason why I'm even mentioning that kind of stuff is because as makers, as vendors, we need to help our customers to see what the
Mhm.
different possibilities are of the products that we're putting out on the table. Like this isn't just a ball jar cover. You can use this for a table decoration. You can use it as a wedding decoration. I mean, if you're doing like a boho chic wedding, those would be great. And who knows, you could probably end up with an order of, however many, because they want to decorate their tables. And
Yeah.
if you can make them in varying sizes, because some people use the little bitty, like half pint and stuff like that, jars to put tea lights in and things like that. Those are just ideas to help you step out of just the making part of it because we get so hyper focused on the I've got to make, but we
Right.
also need to style.
Oh, I love
Okay,
these.
yes, me too. Another thing that is super popular in the summertime, especially if you can make it kitschy, if you can make it, different and make it unique and it has what's a hook. It has a hook.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
So on the left-hand side, we've got a coaster set that turns into a succulent when it's all put together, which is adorable because everybody loves succulents.
Well, I've seen this lately, a couple of, instances where the coasters have a ring of flowers around the
Hmm.
outside that aren't flush with the surface of the coaster, they actually stand up perpendicular. So
Right.
when you're so it serves 2 purposes. You have a kind of a rim around your mug or your glass to
Hmm.
contain everything, but then when you're storing, we never know what to do to store our coasters, right?
Yeah.
So they poke down into a basket, much like the one you have there,
Yeah.
and it's a bouquet of flowers. That's a
Yes.
table decoration. And I think it's such a cool idea.
It
Simple,
is.
simple to do.
It is because it becomes a part of your house. It's not just this thing that gets thrown around. Because I'm going to tell you what, coasters don't live well in my house. And like my one is just like stuffed underneath my thing. I only pull it out every once in a while. You know what I mean?
Well, I have this one I made a long time ago. It's got a lip on it, and now the lip is curled over. You know what? It still works,
Yeah,
so I'm not gonna
exactly.
I don't
But
care.
people are drawn to these types of things because they're looking, especially if, say, here in Pensacola, we have a huge, I mean, huge farmers market in our downtown area every single Saturday. It's actually so big that they've had to open up another park to house the
Mhm.
rest of it. And they've got a little tram that goes back and forth and takes people from one park to the other.
Oh, that's really cool.
So yeah, and it just happened this, I think, this last year they opened it up like that. But when you're looking at stuff like that, you've got vacationers who, this is the
Mhm.
coolest thing in the downtown
Right,
area on a Saturday. You get people who are wanting to pick up cute little gifts that are
right,
based on the area from where you're at, and they want to, or maybe somebody's shopping early and they're thinking Christmas, or even though it's a summery item, there's a lot of people who are out gift buying at this time.
right. Oh,
And
me. Count me in.
I do year round.
Yeah.
If I see something that strikes my fancy and I know that that another person would love it, I will buy it then.
Mhm.
Now, whether I remember that I bought it and I can find it when it comes to
Yes!
Christmas is the other.
Yeah. The eternal question, where
Mm.
did I hide that? I
Right.
have to say, Biz, that this particular item, we think of coasters as, oh, I might pay a dollar or two for that because really it
Yes.
doesn't take a lot of time. But this particular item could be one of your big ticket items. You could
Yes.
you could charge more for it because first of all, it has two purposes.
Mhm.
And second of all, you're solving a problem, you're solving two problems:
Yes.
how to protect your tabletop and how to decorate your home. So
Yeah.
I think this would be a great addition, as is the top right. I think
Yes.
that's the bottle holder and the coasters.
What a fun idea.
Decoration, yeah, decoration as well as functional.
Yep. And the little flip-flop, coaster, I know there's a few of them on Ravelry. This one's by Drew and Borsky. God, that was like 2000, I wanna say 7 or 8 that he came out with that pattern, and I used to make these by the ton, and they're so darn cute. You
Yeah.
can make them super fancy, you can, like, make them like, beaded, how you get a
Oh my
pair of beaded
gosh.
flip-flops, you can do
Yes.
beading on the little toe. I have gone all out on some of the ones that I've made, but you make them.
Bejeweled.
Yes, you just make them as a set for friends, because some people do the little ring around the glass stem
Mhm.
to make sure that you're getting your wine glass. So make a set in a bunch of different colors that's a
Right?
flip-flop, perfect for the beach or that
Yeah.
beachy feel.
Well, now I'm gonna have to steal that idea for my picnic table, so thanks.
You're welcome. It's so fun though. I mean, I love the idea of it just because it helps you to personalize, and it's something different that I don't think everybody else is out there making right now,
Right.
quite honestly. One thing I want to say too, because you had said that, excuse me, I have an itch. Um, One of the things that you had said is that a lot of times people are like, well, I don't want to pay more than such and such for an item because it doesn't take a lot of time. Makers, one thing we have to remember is that people aren't paying you for your time or what you do. They're paying you for what you know. Because if they had the ability to create this item, they would. But because they don't, they're going to pay
Mhm.
you for the time that you took to perfect your craft so that you could make this cute thing for them to buy. So
Yep.
we have to get ourselves out of that mentality that, oh, well, it's only this or it's only that. No,
Right.
you work really hard to get good at what you do.
We also need to be tapping into how do we make our customers feel. Crochet is one of those things where people feel something. They have an
Mhm.
emotion when they see a crocheted item, and you can also choose items to put in your on your table that
Mhm,
will
for sure.
evoke some sort of emotional response, and they go, "Oh, I have to have that keychain because
Mhm.
that reminds me of X."
Right.
Or something else. So it's not just about finding the things that, you can quickly make up. It's also tapping into that emotional response
Mhm.
that you want your customers to have.
Absolutely. And so this next screen kind of talks to that in a bit because everybody loves water balloons in the summer. You know, parents like to play, kids like to play, but nobody really likes the idea of the plastic in the yard. Nobody wants to have to go around and pick all that crap up. Nobody wants to have to fill up the balloons over and over again.
Right.
You can make the water balloons that are reusable with the blanket material, the what is it called? Blanket yarn. And so the reason why I chose this particular picture, this is my friend Avery Lane Creations, is because this is an idea for going one step further when you are marketing this item to people.
Mhm.
Instead of just putting this little pile of and with a little tag that says water balloons
Water
on it,
balloons.
go to the dollar store, get a cheap
Mhm.
sand bucket and a thing.
Right.
Put the water balloons in there. Help people see what it could be. Help people, and then what you do is you give the bucket with them, and so you sell it as a set.
Oh,
You
that's an
just
awesome idea, yeah.
that way they've got the bucket, they've got the balloons, they can go home and play right now.
I would also say I don't know how these work. I mean, do you literally just fill up the crochet with water and throw it? Is that how
No, you
that
stick
works?
water in the bucket, you put your balloon in the bucket, and you whip it. It's
So
this
I
is
would say something else that would be really cool is a branded postcard or something that you can include with the bucket or the water balloons that
uh-huh.
shows you how to use them because
Oh, yeah.
that's not what we usually think of in terms of it, you know, some of the products need a little bit of an explanation.
Yeah.
That's another great thing to provide the customers is, well, that looks really cool. How does that work? Let me show you.
Yes. Oh, and you know what? I'm gonna pop back over to this other slide real quick.
Mhm.
These cozies in the upper right-hand corner, the picture's kind of small, but and so you can't see it. But the reason I chose that picture of ice cream cozies is because inside of it there are paper inserts that
Yep.
say ice cream cozy. I want to encourage you as a vendor, as a market vendor, to take the time and spend $1.75 or whatever it is to buy the downloadable PDF
Mhm.
of um different graphics that you can use to zhuzh up your product, to put a label on there so people it'll avoid a lot of unnecessary questions.
It will.
Um, you know, the ice cream cozy, they don't have to ask you, "Oh, how does this work?" There's a little insert in there that shows you this is an ice cream cozy, this is what it looks like. You know, that kind of stuff. And so I think there's even stuff for the water balloons. But even the
Mhm.
little freezy pop holders in the center, that second picture from the left,
Right?
those are another great way to suck the little kids in. And you
I
don't
love the
have
dinosaurs.
yes,
They're
aren't they just the cutest? Those are by
that
Lisa
what
Fox, and she has a
oh, yeah,
wide
yeah.
variety of them.
Yeah. She
Her
does.
and Sonia from Blackstone Designs both have a wide variety of these um, freezy pop holders available in their Ravelry stores. And I know that some of them have them for free on their websites too. I'm not sure of all that. And like I said, I will have links after this. But that's one of those things where it uses up leftover yarn. So you're just making
Mhm.
money at this point. It's all profit. And if you don't go too crazy with what you're creating, you can bang these suckers out and charge $3 to $5 for the
Yep.
really fancy ones. Or
Uh-huh.
if you just do basic cotton ones, you can sell three of them for, $5, whatever.
Well, now
You know,
that brings up another point. A lot of makers question whether they can use someone's pattern and sell from that. As a general rule, I think designers like us really don't mind if you use our patterns to sell stuff, as long as you make it clear that that's not your design. But if there's a question, you can always get in touch with the designer and ask if it's okay to
yeah.
use. That way, you don't have to design all of this stuff from scratch.
Oh, exactly. And I do want to say that I've learned over time in the US there is no law that says that you cannot create. So like if it's a US designer with a US pattern and it says on the bottom you cannot sell anything you make from this, that they can't legally do that.
No.
However, in the UK, when it says on the bottom you cannot sell anything you make from this, you literally can't sell anything that you make from it because their laws are different.
Right.
So just be aware of whose pattern you're using. And if they say you can't sell anything from it, be respectful and do that. I know that Lisa is in the US and so is Sonia. So
Mhm.
um now here's another one. These hanging plants are the little bitty ones that hang from your rear view mirror. And so you can make hanging plants to go in your house that are larger, but everybody gets the biggest kick out of these minis. And if
That's
you're
hilarious.
it's so huge in the boho community, they all wanna hang these little succulents from their rearview mirror. So, they're so simple. Those are another thing that are so small that you're basically using up leftover yarn, and it's all cash, at that point.
Yep.
And you can charge anywhere from 8 to 10 to $12 for stuff like
It's
this.
amazing what the market will sustain.
Absolutely, and that's another thing, you've gotta, watch what your market's gonna bear, but, you know, just because you are a crochet designer or maker or whatever it is, never do a "I'm just a," because yeah, we're not just a, and I'm not a garage sale, and no, I'm not at a Turkish bazaar, I'm not gonna
No,
haggle their
we
prices.
are artisans, creative artisans. That is what we are.
Exactly. I get a little bit hot under the collar when I hear
No.
people say, "Well, they asked me if they could, get it for less, and I just felt like I needed to because it's just this." Well, hold on just a second. Is it something they can make themselves? No. And you're the one with the expertise to make it. Yes. And you're not a garage sale and you're a business, right? Yes. And we're not at a Turkish bazaar here. We don't have to haggle. Your price is your price because that's what you need to market at to make a living if you're a
Exactly.
business. Okay, so I'm getting off my soapbox now. The last one is a little miniature succulents that this is where like it's in a pot. It's a little plant in a pot. And if you don't want to kill little succulents, you can make them and lots of people will buy them. Oh, what that went too fast.
There you
All right.
go. We need earrings
Okay,
and
so here we
things.
go. These are the last things. This is like headwear and earrings. These are also really great things to use up leftover stuff. Um, Scrunchies are huge. Lots of people make them. They're super super fast. The earrings I don't know about because I can't work on anything that tiny. But if you like tiny things, earrings are great. People love
Yep.
handmade, hand crocheted earrings.
One of the
And
designers I know that makes a lot of earrings, 2 designers, SEK Handmade, Sarah, and Amber of Bliss
oh,
This. She does a
mhm.
lot of crocheted earrings, and I think what they do is, they probably get the hardware in bulk from Etsy or wherever,
Oh, sure.
and then they use thread instead of yarn, so it's much
Okay.
smaller. Yeah.
See, I can't do it. It just it makes my hands hurt looking at it. But the only other thing that I have here is um hats
Sun
and like
hats.
sun visor hats, or you can get really um niched down and just provide these really funky little skull caps that
Yep.
people the lacy kind that they can just wear on an evening out. And you know a lot of this stuff lends itself more to boho, just because I think that's kind of the flavor of the majority of people that go to farmers markets and hang out there. But it's not bad for you to, branch out of that and make other things that appeal to a wider variety of people. All right, that is me for the vendors.
All right, people, we're going to the market.
We are going
So
to the market.
here we go. I love these items because they are just so cool. I mean, who would not want to carry their produce and whatnot in a granny heart market bag? I
That's so cute.
mean, right? Now what you can't see in the middle picture in the top, she had a picture. I couldn't put all of the pictures on here, but if you open that up, she has a compartment where you can put your cup. So if you have a cup
Mm,
with a top on it, you can stick it in the bag and
cute.
it stays upright. Um, then Goldenberry also did a mushroom bag. I think those are mushrooms on the bag, but I love the shape of that bag. It's unusual. It's almost like a
Yes,
duffel, but not quite.
like a crossbody duffel bag.
Yeah. And then you have the ever popular granny square bag in so many different shapes and sizes and whatnot.
Yes.
Um, the shuck bag and my Pathways Market tote, which is basically just a circular bag you sling over one shoulder and stick things in.
Nice.
Produce bags, these string
Oh,
bags are
those are
so
my
popular,
favorite.
right? So I think they're just, it's single crochet chain, and then you
Mhm.
overlap those. That's the string. And I think it's just a big rectangle, which you then, um, you can either put a drawstring through that and make it the bag, or there's a way to do an edging at the top that gathers it,
Yeah.
that which I think is what's in the second picture there. Then the crossbody bags really are for, I hate carrying my purse at a farmer's market. I just hate it. It
Yeah.
looks like, okay, so I'm a grandma. Okay, but the connotation that grandma brings her big leather bag to the farmer's market, ju not my jam, not my jam. So I usually wear jeans and stick things in my pockets, but these are great alternatives. The sunflower crossbody, then you have the retro circle bag. I love that one. That's really cool. It's just
Cute.
a granny circle. Okay, so the middle one on the bottom is one that I came up with because we walk our dogs we all the time, and we have to carry poop bags, we have to carry um, training supplies, treats, and things like that. So I created a crossbody bag at farmers market in our areas, in markets that are in our area. People bring their dogs. That's a thing. You
Yeah.
pack your dog, you either walk to the farmer's market or you drive your dog to the market, and then they just walk up and down the river bank.
Uh-huh.
Um, this would be a great way for you to store all the essentials
That's awesome.
and look pretty, see the hole in the front where you can
Yes, I
just
love the
thread
poop
your,
bags. Yes.
and then it has a wooden button. You can't see the wooden button, but it's a paw print, so it's very cool.
Cute.
And then, we all have our phones. If you don't happen to have a pocket in your pants that will hold it, you can make a simple crossbody phone holder so that you can keep
Nice.
it at the ready.
Oh, I like that.
So, then you have pouches if you wanna
Mhm,
just, sling something over your wrist. You can simply put
mhm.
the credit card or cash in there that you're going to use. Your phone might fit in there, that sort of thing. That's a great alternative for taking your purse. And
Yeah.
then we wanna stay hydrated, right?
Yes.
So, instead of holding that bottle, you can sling it over your shoulder and carry it, either crossbody or on one shoulder.
Those are great suggestions.
I love those. Yeah.
Yes.
So now
Cool
we're ready
beans.
to go to the market as well as sell at the market.
Well, hopefully, I didn't talk too much. I felt like I yammered too much. A couple of things that I didn't have pictures for that I'm just gonna say that I've been going through a lot of, not a lot of, a few of the vendor style Facebook groups that I'm a part of. And the things that I've noticed that they have on there a lot are the emotional pickles or the emotional vegetables.
Oh,
where it
right.
comes with a little thing that says, "I'm an emotional pickle, and I'm here to, like, help you make," I don't know, it's like a hug thing. Look it up. It it's 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 an emotional pickle, but you can do anything with avocados, hedgehogs, turtles, frogs, just everything. If it's
Yep.
miniature, people want it. Um, like the
S
Ami keychains, where
Yep,
you've I saw
right,
one a picture where there's a little avocado that has the little seed, and then the other avocado who has a little dent, and you can put the little avocados together, and it's a pair of keychains.
oh my
Um,
gosh.
the blanket
That's kinda
yarn
like the
plushies
best friend necklace,
that would work perfectly for that.
the avocado keychains.
Blanket yarn plushies.
Mhm, those
Those
are big.
are extremely popular. There's a bazillion and one no sew patterns out
Oh,
there. So, like,
right.
if you hate sewing on legs and heads and tails, there are so many no sew
Mhm,
ones out there now. You don't even have to bother with all the funky stuff.
right, let me see if this
And
is no,
I
I'm
found
gonna
one that I thought it would be perfect for you to
really?
take to a festival. A wine cup holder that's like a necklace.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
just has a
Yeah.
cup that you slide your little wine cup into, and you can wear it around your neck, like,
Yep.
kind of like the water bottle holder. Uh,
Well, I think the the, flip-flops are great for wine glasses as well, right?
those are awesome. And then the last thing that I have is, do you remember what a yip yip is?
I don't I've s is that what I see with those bags with the eyes on them? Is
Yes,
that what that is? What is
the little faces with the fringe on the bottom, and they're an open hole. Remember they're from, Sesame Street. Yip, 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 yip.
oh my gosh, are you serious right now? What do they hold?
Yes, yes. So those are so popular right now. They're like everywhere. Everybody's making yip yips. So those, even though it's kind of a bandwagony thing, and you know me, I'm anti bandwagon, I would do that one because I think
Yeah.
everybody loves the yips, and everybody remembers from Sesame Street. And it's going to be something that draws people to your your market table.
Well, that would definitely get
So
attention, that's
that's
for sure.
yes, and fun. It's fun. Alrighty. I think that I've pretty much hit everything that I wanted to say about vendor markets. Did you pretty much say everything that you wanted to about things that we should be like? These are the things that we can take along with us, and they're going to benefit you. Um, just fun things.
Yeah,
But
I think
anywho,
if you're looking for some helpful tips about, selling at markets beyond just the products, I highly recommend that you go to Cameron's Cute Creations on Instagram. She has all kinds of tips and tricks for how to get
Mhm.
customers engaged, how to sell at markets when there isn't, when people aren't coming up to your booth,
Yeah,
how to get your family to help you out,
we will
how
have
to
her
choose
link in our description information as well.
yeah, I mean, it's just simply Cameron's Cute Creations at
Okay.
Cameron's Cute Creations on Instagram, and I her feed is just filled with tips and tricks about how to sell at markets.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Um, couple of finishing points before we go on to talking and finishing up here. Go on to, oh my God, Biz. Before
Dial it
we
back.
finish up. Okay. Decide your niche. You don't have to make everything. You can make specific things. You can niche it down really specific, or you can niche it into an area. It
Mhm.
doesn't have to be all, and it doesn't have to be one thing. So just think about who you want to be. And then also, on the flip side of that, who do you want to sell to? Who's
Mhm.
your ideal customer? Who do you want to connect with? And then be different, go against the grain, stand out, and style your products. Make sure that people can see what they can do with what you are selling. Because a
Right, and
lot of
don't be
people,
af But
don't have
don't
that
be afraid
imagination. Yeah.
if your table starts to look bare, because
Yeah.
sometimes when people see that things are going fast, or you could get
Uh-huh.
the illusion that it's selling, it
Mhm.
draws people over and go, "Oh gosh, maybe I should pick one of those up before they're all gone."
Yes, and you don't have to overstuff your tables either, because
Right.
sometimes that is product overwhelm, and people are like,
Mhm.
I can't. My eye doesn't have anywhere to rest, so I can't go there." I'm one of those
Right.
people where if it's too much, I can't process it,
And
and
they
it
just walk
overwhelms
away.
me, and I just walk away.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how bad I am. When I get to the chiropractor, even if I have an appointment and the parking lot is full and I know that there's not going to be anywhere to sit when I get into the, because it's a very small chiropractor's office, if I just drive away because it's too many people for me. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well, it is a known fact, I think research backs this up, that more choices is not necessarily a good thing.
Mhm.
Because when you
No.
present someone with a lot of choices, they can't make a decision.
Yeah.
If you and it's a, it's kind of a typical response on our part. We wanna make all the things for all the people. But
Mhm.
if we give too many choices, they can't make a choice.
Yep.
So you're better off
It's like
doing a
analysis
few things
paralysis or
and
something.
zero exactly. Focusing on a few things so that your customer doesn't have so many choices and decisions to make.
Right. Right. Okay, so what what are you watching? We don't have a banner for that? Okay. What are you watching this week?
Well, I do, Biz. I don't know about you, but I can't
I
share
don't.
it.
I need to make
Okay.
one.
Can you make one up real fast? Know that this is the segment where we start to talk about TV. All right. Well, two things. The Phillies are the hottest team in baseball right now.
Are
They have
they?
set a record for the most wins over 500 in franchise history. They have set a record for the well, there you go. They've set a record for the number of sweeps, of series sweeps they've done. They're they have 2 of the top 10 pitchers in the league.
Uh-huh.
They are so much fun to watch. They just swept, I mean, completely blasted the Texas Rangers, who won the World Series last year. They just finished
Oh,
that up and just
that's
blew
cool.
the Rangers next to the Phillies looked like a little league team. Nothing against little league teams, but this is pro.
Right.
They are hotter than hot. Now, I've said that, that means they're going to start to lose, but, you know, we've been able to
No.
live vicariously through April and May through this team. We thought it was gonna be dicey because they started, as they usually do, losing every game, and we're like,
Mhm.
"Okay, well, we're gonna stick with them because we like them." But and they're great guys, but they are just it's crazy how good they are. That's one, and then the other thing that we've kind of been watching is it's all on Netflix, so we have to watch it when my daughter's home, but we've been watching Is It Cake? Where bakers make have you ever seen it?
I've seen things about it, and I
Yeah,
haven't watched the thing, but I've heard it's really good.
it's pretty amazing because these bakers get 8 hours to create something that's supposed to look like an item that they've chosen, and then it's put up side by side with 3 or 4 other decoys, and the judges have to find the cake. And, of
Wow.
course, you want them to choose a decoy rather than a cake. We watched that one, and we're making our way through this series, All the Light You Cannot See. Holy cow, it is so well made. It's about, a blind girl who ends up being one of the radio operators in France that, um, gives allied troop positions to the allies so
Oh,
that they
wow.
can make, informed decisions about how to beat the Germans, but
Sure.
she does it by reading from 20 the 20 le sorry, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So she reads passages that are coded
Oh, wow.
and broadcasts it like she's reading because people who are in war need to hear a good book.
Sure.
but she's actually sending coded messages to the
Oh,
allies.
very
So
cool.
and it's just the
Oh
actors
my
are
goodness.
incredible, incredible
Yeah.
in it. So that's what we've been
Wow.
watching. Not true crime, no true crime, I'm sorry to say, but, those are some really good things.
I feel horrible because I have nothing cool. Like, you've got all these great things and I am not me. Um, I'm trying to think. Like, it's kind of just been the same stuff because we never watch anything different. In the afternoons when I'm working, it's just been Design Star, the next Design Star. However, I will say this. I have noticed from the first 3 seasons to now the 4th or 5th season, the dynamics of the show have changed, as it became more
Mm,
popular, all
right.
of a sudden we're leaning on the drama and not
Yeah.
I hate it when they do that, like,
Well,
it was
that
all
happened
about
with this
designing
season
stuff.
of So You Think He Can Dance. It was all
Yeah,
about, these amateur dancers being groomed to be professionals, and
right.
the premise of this season is great, but they put them for the first season they put them in this to live in the same house. So now half the episode is who's in love with whom and
Yeah.
what kind of drama is going on, and I'm sorry, I just don't need that. I don't
Well,
care.
and in the first couple seasons, it was all about what they were doing, what they were
Mhm.
designing, and you saw
Right,
so much of it, like,
right,
you could actually get ideas from this stuff because you saw so much of what they were doing. And now it's become they're doing everything in teams. The people are nasty. They tell you nothing about their design process. They tell you nothing about what they're choosing. They just it's all these blip, 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 blip. Oh, there's a room. Okay. Well, I mean, it's kind of I'm probably gonna keep watching it unless it gets really bad because even the judges some of the things that they say, it's like, "Well, that was rude. What are you doing?" That's
right.
you don't need to talk like that to these people. I mean, come on. So, yeah, I, I don't
I
know.
think
We'll
that
see.
happens with a
But
lot of
the at
shows
night
when you
we've
watch
been
more
doing our
than one
usual.
season. When you watch more than one season, they have to, keep upping their game. Um, and it I
Well,
just
and do you watch the
um,
progression?
yeah.
Yeah. Are you having a lag? I have a little bit of a lag on my
Yes.
end.
Yeah, well, Dawn and I are, talking about baseball right now.
Oh, I'm missing the chat. Oh,
Yeah, the
oh,
Mariners, I
fun.
don't think they're
Oh, and I
they're
wanted to
they're not in
say
our
the Phillies have my favorite mascot. He is so stinking cute.
Oh my gosh, the Fanatic is amazing. In fact, I would
He's
say the Philadelphia mascots have it all going on. The ice hockey,
they
gritty,
do.
I don't know
They're
where they came up with
fun.
that. And the Phillies farm team, the AAA team, is here in the Valley, and the Lehigh
Uh-huh.
Valley used to be the headquarters for Bethlehem Steel. That was how
Okay.
this became such a huge area.
Uh-huh.
So, they're called the Iron Pigs, and their mascot, which looks a lot like the Fanatic, is Ferris because the count on the periodic table, Fe is iron,
Oh, funny.
right? And his girlfriend is Fifi. So
Ferris and Fifi. That's hilarious. So we were watching the latest episode. Well, I don't know if it was the latest one of the episodes of The Amazing Race. That's one of our shows that we like to watch. And of course everything is coming to an end. So but one of the things that they did is they went to the stadium, I believe they were in Philadelphia, and all three of the Philadelphia area mascots were there.
mhm,
They were so stinking funny. They
they're
were so
funny.
funny. They're
I don't know.
crazy.
Well, I don't know who plays the fanatic, but I don't know how you get in this massive thing on
Yes.
95-degree days and you're still dancing around. Everybody knows exactly how you're feeling, and he gets the audience engaged that they're selling out the stadium every game. It's
Well,
just
and how do you
insane.
move in that kind of a costume like that? He's
I don't
got to be
know.
athletic.
I don't know, but he does it, and he's
That's a
great.
lot of work. Yeah, and he does a good job. Don says, "Well, we live in Sequim, so Seattle team is our favorite." So they're a Mariners fan. I can't say that I'm a baseball fan of anybody in particular. We've got the Blue Wahoos in town, and then the Alabama Bananas or something like that. The Bama Nanas, or I don't know what they're, but they're all kind of.
The Savannah Bananas aren't that far
There
from
we go, the
yours.
Savannah Bananas. And that's Georgia. So, but they're all very funny. Like some of them are very, very silly. We used to go to the minor league teams up in Wisconsin just because it's just such a fun atmosphere
Mhm.
at the minor league games because it's very family oriented. And yes, they're there to get better and improve themselves and all of that, but they make such a fun family atmosphere. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but
The Iron Pigs, they have a race halfway through the game with Ferris and a strip of bacon. I think it might be a slice of bread, and it may be a hot dog that, all of the things you can make out of a pig. Cheese
uh-huh.
wouldn't be one of them, but you can it's just hilarious, of course, and then, along the track, they're tripping each other and I don't know, it's just stupid entertainment, but it's fun.
Firelake Creations says, I'm just gonna pop it up here
Oh,
instead of
Round
the.
Rock, yeah?
Yes, I used to go to Kenosha Twins games.
Mhm.
Wisconsin has some fun stuff. See, Dawn got to see Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. My husband would have been in absolute awe that those are two of his favorite players. I remember when we met, Ken Griffey Jr. was just coming up, and he was just the thing, man.
I believe
Um,
Nolan Ryan was popular in Texas at the time when we were living down there, and he
he
pitcher, I
was
believe.
amazing.
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan was amazing. And
Mhm.
see, I like baseball, and I know about that much about it because it's another one of those things that my husband loves, so I learned a little bit about it so I could talk to him.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't like watching it on TV, but I love going to the games. They're fun.
They are fun.
Um, oh, cool. Nolan
Oh,
Ryan is a part owner
well,
of our team.
there you go.
Classic. That's
There you go.
awesome. But yeah, other than that, I don't have anything fun that I've been watching, so we're just not even gonna bother with that, but I don't mind. I like talking about
So we're
sports
just
too because
we're just done.
good stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's not been anything worth talking about. I'm telling you, I have been in this swimsuit cover fog for weeks
Yes.
now, and now that that pattern is done, I feel like suddenly the sun shines brighter and the air has more oxygen in it, and cake tastes more amazing than it ever tasted before. So it's just, I'm
I
so
know
glad
how
to
you
be done with
feel.
that thing.
I know how you feel. Oh my gosh.
So now I get to let creativity flow, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go
Yep.
and we're gonna let creativity flow for the rest of the day.
Yep. I've got my shawl all lined up. I'm gonna finish the border on it this weekend so I can start writing up the pattern and
Nice.
get it ready for the cow that's coming in August. It's
Yay!
gorgeous.
That's exciting. Yep, I've got a couple of things that commitments that I'm working on that are secret at the moment, so I can't really say anything about them. But it's all just prep work in the background right now. So
Yep, and we've got to buy our yarn for our September and October plans. We
I
have to buy
have
our
mine.
yarn.
I bought
Oh,
I bought mine
oh,
already.
oh. Okay, well I have to order mine. So there you go.
It actually, what I did, because it was such a good sale at Lovecrafts, I bought more than I probably should have. Um, but their 5 packs were such an amazing sale.
Oh, I love
My
buying
entire
those.
dining room table is covered with yarn right now, so I just need to go in there and get the ones out that are for the blanket, and then everything else can go on the shelf.
And who needs to eat? So I'm just saying.
Not this girl. We have 2 tables in our house, though. We've got the big formal dining room, and then we've got the TV room where we have a table set up in there because we're yeah,
Okay.
we're TV junkies, so but yeah, all right. So everybody, hopefully we oh gosh. hopefully I didn't ramble on too much about being a vendor, but that we gave you some useful information and that we had a fun chat today. And if you've got any questions, always, always, always reach out to us because we will do our very best to answer them. If you've got any
Absolutely.
suggestions about things that you'd like
Mhm.
to know about, shoot them
Absolutely,
our way.
because we're always looking for things to talk about, although we
Mhm.
never have trouble finding things to talk about. But we'd rather talk about what you wanna hear us talk about.
I was gonna say it's not always cohesive and it doesn't always make all the most sense. So, in order so that it makes some sense to you, yes, and thank you, Firelight Creations. You have a nice long weekend. Everybody be safe. Everybody in America who's watching this,
Exactly.
be safe this weekend. Thank you to our soldiers who have sacrificed their lives for us so that we can have this country and the freedoms that we have.
Mhm.
And have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, everybody.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.